Well, how are you? So, wanted to have a little chat about Alzheimer's and autism and lies and parasites and lies and how they lie all the time. So we have a book here called Parasites in Past Civilisations and Their Impact Upon Health. Written by Piers D. Mitchell. He's trained in medicine, archaeology and medical history and leads the Ancient Parasites Laboratory at the University of Cambridge, UK. He's got quite an extensive list of things he does here. So it's not me telling you as such. It's like, oh, don't believe Louise, what does she know? I just read books. But these guys, they know. He references the WHO a lot. What's he do? Piers has been president of the British Association for Biological Anthropology and Astroarchaeology, and also president of the Paleopathology Association, the worldwide organisation for the study of ancient diseases. So you can't get more sciencey than that now, can you? So, what have I been saying for years? Autism can be reversed. Alzheimer's, it can be reversed once you give the body the right environment to do it in. And that's to remove the parasites, to remove the disease. They basically say, what is disease? Disease is parasites. So, it's all in this book. Go get it if you want to read it. Read what I'm reading. And it also touches on the how do they test things from previous civilizations to find out what parasites that have been around and produces. They're PCR tests. That's what they're doing. That's what they use. That's what they're used for. And they're used these days to test for viruses. It's parasites. They just don't want to say. Why can't they just say parasites? And then we all know what we're dealing with here instead of viruses. What's a virus? So anyway, we shall move on to what this guy says here on page 3. And this is, they know why kids have children have low IQ. So they do. So certain intestinal helminths may contribute to malnutrition either by consuming energy and proteins from the diet before the human host can absorb them. So you're not getting the nutrients that you need. They're being absorbed into all these parasites instead of into the bodies of growing children. So or by impairing the ability of the gut to absorb the nutrients present. This becomes particularly problematic for children who need calories and proteins to grow, especially if they have a high burden of worms. In this way, children with recurrent episodes of diarrhea or those infected with geohelminths such as roundworm and whipworm may develop stunted growth and reduced IQ as a result. Because these effects are gradual and long-term, the link may never be noticed by past societies. So, a range of parasites cause anemia where the red blood cell numbers or hemoglobin concentration are lower than normal and insufficient for the individual's psychological needs. Anemia may be caused by the destruction of the red blood cells or by parasites themselves, such as in malaria. Malaria is parasites. Or by the parasites triggering the loss of blood to the intestines or bladder, such as in hookworm or schistosomosis. Chronic anemia leads to impaired exercise tolerance so that the amount of physical work a person can achieve in a day is reduced. So if you're really fatigued and you don't know why, your parasites are eating everything on you and you're not getting the nutrition that you need. So when multiplied amongst an entire population, this can have major consequences for the productivity of an ancient civilization. Some parasites cause chronic inflammation in tissues that over many years can trigger the formation of cancers in certain organs. In past societies where there was no effective treatment for cancer, this would lead to a period of ill health, followed by premature death of some of those with the parasite. Examples of cancers caused by parasites include bladder cancer due to the urinary blood fluke, in the Middle East and Africa, and cancer of the bile duct of the liver, and both Chinese liver fluke and Southeast Asian liver fluke. Certain parasites can lead to the disfiguration of the face, skin, or blindness or unusual behaviour as part of the disease process. You know? So, it goes on to tell you. And then you go on here to the NIH, and this is the National Library of Medicine, National Centre for Biotechnology Information. And they go on to say Alzheimer's disease, assessing the role of spirochetes, biofilms, the immune system, and amyloid B with regard to potential treatment and prevention. So there's a parasite called spirochetes, and it where spirochetes have been found in the brains of Alzheimer's disease, it may be considered an infectious disease. See, infectious diseases is parasites. Why can't they just say parasites? And this is the first and most important consideration. It is also a chronic disease, a biofilm associated disease. Biofilm. Is that ropeworm, mucus, acidosis, and an autoimmune disease. Further, it is a debilitating disease, a socially destructive disease, an exceedingly expensive disease, and lastly, a deadly disease. This review will focus on the biofilm portion of the disorder as well as the autoimmune response. It will also touch on some rational therapeutic concepts, blah, 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 drugs. So, yeah, I've seen it reversed. So I have, you know, I put out a study, something there that I thought a few years ago might help because I read something on lion's mane and Alzheimer's. And I was like, well, if it works for Alzheimer's, it will work for autism or anything to do with the brain, the neurological system. And that was put out 4 years ago. And we got a lot of feedback since then. What I thought it would do, it did. So, you know, it's parasites. Get rid of the parasites. All these jibber jabbers, they've got eggs in them. They've got stuff in them that, you know, creates an environment for these to thrive in. So we've been lied to from birth. And they're just lying. And they're just giving everybody drugs instead of nature. Nature's the key here. Nature's what wins. Nature's what takes everything back. Gives you your health back. Gives us our lovely surroundings back. All this concrete jungle out there. We can't survive on that. We can't survive on nanotechnology. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But there you go. That's what they know in this book from Cambridge University. They know all about parasites and children with low IQ levels. So, parasites. Get them parasites out and do it in a natural way. There's many natural ways to do that. Fruits and vegetables. And then there's some fantastic herbs there that dig in deep and get it out. So do your research and don't give them an environment to thrive in because that's acidic. Alkaline is the key. Keep it alkaline. Disease, which they say disease. What is disease? Disease is parasites. Cannot thrive in an alkaline environment. And that's how that works. So, hope you enjoyed the story. It's a very interesting book. Might be back with some more. Take care.
How to get kidney filtration. The following is some of the most important health information you will ever receive. The body has a sewer system to handle the waste from your trillions of cells. It's called your lymph system, and it carries cellular waste to the kidneys where it's filtered, then eliminated. If the kidneys get clogged, your sewer backs up. It's that simple. This is the cause of most so-called diseases, everything from acne to arthritis. Backed up lymph becomes acidic, causing pain and inflammation. Acids destroy joints, bones, skin, arteries, organs, etc. Toxic lymph is also a breeding ground for parasites, viruses, and fungus. This is why kidney filtration is so important. Here's a simple test to see if your kidneys are filtering. Don't consume any liquids 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. Urinate into a glass jar first thing in the morning. Don't worry about the color. If it's cloudy, your kidneys are filtering lymph. If it's clear, you've got some work to do. Here's how to get filtration. The first thing you've got to do is switch to a raw food diet of fruits and vegetables. Eat them or juice them fresh, it's up to you. Dairy, grains, meat, and cooked foods are inflammatory. Avoid them like the plague. Eat at least 80% raw fruit. Fruits get lymph moving and clean the kidneys. Acid fruits are the most cleansing. These include lemons, limes, oranges, grapefruit, pineapple, strawberries, tangerines, cranberries, and tomatoes.